What's going on, everybody? Doug Bryce here from the Agave Social Club podcast. A brand new episode just came out with Jake Lustig and ArteNOM. So this is perhaps one of my favorite, if not my favorite episode I've done so far, just because of the information that Jake had. This is an amazing brand, and the information that Jake was able to give, the stories he was able to tell, and what he has done for the tequila industry has just been so huge over the years. So I really want to encourage you to listen to this podcast. You might even listen to it a few times because there's just such great information in there. If you're wanting to learn more, Jake Lustig has some great information, and there's a handful of guys in the industry that are also contributing a lot of great information to the tequila community. Jake, through the years, was seeing how distilleries would open and eventually just shut. Numerous reasons why they would close down. So he wanted to identify different distilleries that were making great tequila, but had also been in existence for numerous years and had staying power. So this is kind of a project of the who's who, the Hall of Fame of, if you could go make any tequila and you could go pick any distilleries, who would you go and have them make tequila for you? So Jake and his partner go to these master distillers and he asks them if they will make a tequila for his brand. But the goal is to make that master distiller the star of the show. They may make other brands, but they may be making those brands for other companies. So this might be the first time where that master distiller sees, wow, they want to showcase me and what I'm doing for this tequila. So Jake asked them, hey, I want you to make something different, and I want you to have complete control over it. He wasn't there to tell them how to make the tequila because he already trusted them in their process. So pretty incredible idea to start a brand using different distilleries. ArteNOM is the only brand that the CRT has allowed. So each bottle is going to have a different NOM, that NOM number. That's why it's ArteNOM, the art of that NOM, which is tied to that distillery. ArteNOM 1579, the NOM is 1579, which is El Pandillo, making G4, Terlata, Volans, incredible Pasote, incredible brands coming out of here. They're doing something different. You have to just listen for Jake to tell what the difference is with all of these. If you're a Blanco fan, I don't know if it gets any better than El Pandillo. Citrus, that Highlands agave, minimal pepper there, but this is everything that you want in a Blanco. Really, really great stuff. But this is Felipe Camarena. This is him creating art. He does that as well with G4, but this is his opportunity to do it a little differently with ArteNOM 1579. And then Jake is moving across Jalisco to different elevations. He wants to find different distilleries in different elevations, different agaves in different elevations to start to get that terroir from what each distillery is doing. Next we go to ArteNOM 1414, making a lot of great brands. All of these distilleries are making phenomenal brands. So don't just stop at this one. If you like this, find out other things that are coming out of 1414, 1579, 1146. And here we now meet Sergio Vivanco from the Vivanco family and what he's doing here. There was an old school way of how they were collecting the yeast for their tequilas, and they brought it back for this 1414. So very different than everything else that they're making out of 1414. You can see how light this is aged just a few months. They didn't want the barrel to then all of a sudden take over for what they were trying to do with the agave and the yeast in this. But man, this is a sweetness. You let this get a little air in it, and it's like cinnamon, it's like sugar cookies. That agave is still there, cuts through, pepper's still there. This would be phenomenal in a cocktail, but to sip it by itself is a real special treat. And then we move a little more west to 1146, ArteNOM 1146. You can tell I've been enjoying these. Look how dark this is. I mean, this is all natural. There's no additives, there's no caramel coloring. These are all verified additive free. But at 1146, we're gonna meet the Fonseca family, Enrique Fonseca. This distillery has been around for many years. They've been growing agaves for so many years. This family has been very involved in the industry. And what he's doing here with the different types of barrels, go back and hear the types of barrels that he's using to get this darkness, because he's doing some pretty amazing things with it. This on the flavor. I really loved how Jake described it, somewhat of as you're drinking it, you're trying to figure out, is this something that I enjoy? And then boom, that caramel, that chocolate, that agave is still there, just kind of hits you all at once, as there's just a lot of flavor going on here. So ArteNOM 1146, really, really awesome. I mean, the Blanco, the Reposado, the Añejo. They've got a new Blanco coming out. It's going to be coming out of 1123, which is ArteNOM 1123, making Cascoin, which is another fantastic distillery. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the Hall of Fame in my mind. There are other distilleries that deserve to be on this list, but for him to showcase amazing distilleries and the master distillers, for them to have a blank canvas and for him to say, hey, just make something different and exciting and awesome, and I would love to put it out under the ArteNOM brand. So really listen to this episode. Thank you for checking it out. It's on all major platforms for podcasting. You can check out ArteNOM at deltequila.com, of tequila, DEL tequila.com. He's got some really great information there. If you want to educate yourself on the different processes, what diffuser made tequila is versus the other autoclave and brick oven, which is the more sustainable and traditional ways, they're educating you on that as well. I want to encourage you again to check it out. You can follow me on Instagram at Agave Social Club. You can check out theagavesocialclub.com to listen to all podcasts. If you want to buy a shirt, if you want to know more about what I'm doing, if you're interested in a live tasting, if you're interested in a virtual live tasting, we're going to start rolling those out this year as well. So a lot of information there. Thank you for listening, and thanks for being a part of the Agave Social Club.